Let me just say the quiet part out loud for a minute. You don't have a talent gap, and you don't have a motivation gap, and you don't have a people problem, even though you're missing some of your goals. What you're actually missing is discipline in the right places. And I can't stress this enough, because without discipline, leaders will compensate with emotion. They push harder, they talk more or louder, and they carry everything themselves. Last week, we talked about structure and that it needs to come first. Now, let's add discipline to the mix. Today, I'm going to show you why discipline, not pressure, is the real leadership advantage and the skill that you need to master, and how elite leaders use it to make execution feel lighter. 7 minutes, one truth, one execution move. And if you're a leader who's just tired of repeating yourself and you can't quite get over that hump, that last set of goals that you can't get, you're struggling with the weight of people's performance, you're in the right place. Because I'm Chris Hunsicker, and this is the Dealership War Room. This is motivation, and this isn't theory. This is a daily leadership briefing for people who actually have to produce results in the arena, at work and at home. You're in the war room, so let's get after it. Most leaders, they hear the word discipline and think rules, rigidity, micromanagement, control. And so they avoid it because they don't want to do that. But here's the truth elite leaders understand. Discipline isn't about being harsh. It's about being clear. When discipline is missing, then execution depends on memory or mood or motivation. And that's when leaders feel like they're babysitting instead of leading. Sound like anyone you know? Here's the line I want you to steal. What isn't disciplined eventually becomes emotional. And when there's no discipline, every miss feels personal. Every reminder feels heavy. Every standard feels negotiable. And that's not a people issue. That's a leadership design issue. Here's what most leaders miss. The discipline doesn't add pressure, it removes friction. And elite leaders don't discipline to control people, they discipline to reduce decision fatigue, remove ambiguity, create safety around expectations. Because think about it. When people know what's expected every time, they stop guessing. And when people start guessing, leaders stop carrying everything because the weight is shared. Discipline is what turns standards into stability. And here's today's execution move. And you can do this in less than a minute. Think about one reoccurring frustration in your store. Just one. Now, ask this question honestly. Where am I expecting consistency without having installed discipline? Write the answer down, because here's the truth. And you know this. You can't demand discipline where you haven't designed it. And that awareness alone might be your first upgrade of this week. And if you want help identifying where discipline is missing, turning frustration into clear, coachable structure, text the word discipline to the number that you see on the screen. You're going to get instant access to our AI coaching assistant, and he's built to help you spot execution breakdowns, define standards, and install discipline without becoming the bad guy. That's the power of the right discipline at the right time. And if you know a leader who keeps pushing harder, keeps falling through emotion, and they feel tired every week, send them this episode, because leadership isn't about intensity. It's about installing discipline where pressure used to live. So go out today, create some leadership fire, and I will see you tomorrow in the Dealership War Room.